Hello, everybody. Alejandra Crisafulli, the baller coach here, and I am so honored to be with Erin Renninger, who has been an amazing client throughout this journey of healing rather than dealing, which is something I'd love for us to talk about today, Erin. But I decided to start doing these live kind of interviews with past clients because it's one thing to hear it from me, how this program of the 180 method is so incredible and different from anything else you've ever experienced before, but quite a different thing to hear it from someone who's gone through it. So my intention for us today is just to get to hear from someone who had to make the choice of choosing to, one, go through coaching, and two, picking a coach and that whole process leading up to it. Like, I'd love to hear that from you, Erin. And then we'll just talk a little bit about the 180 method and what it's actually done and created in your life. So I'm super honored that you're here, and let's just jump in. So yeah, Erin, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel so honored that you asked me to do this. And you have blessed my life in so many ways that I can't even describe to people. It
Yeah.
is just such an honor to have worked with you and have your coaching.
Oh my goodness. Well, I always tell clients like it's an honor to be a part of the process too, because it's just as much of like that giving and receiving kind of thing. I'm always in awe of the people that God brings into my life, and you are one of them. And so I'm honored as well. So thank you.
Yes. And I believe 100% with all of my heart, like God does things on purpose, right? Like, because there was a bigger purpose for both of us to meet. And like, I love that you say that you get something out of it too.
Yeah.
It's not just about us as the coached person getting, it is about the coach, also. And it is a God gift that you have received, that you get to share. This is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Because it definitely is. Yeah. I mean, yes, I have this gift, but it's given from God. Like, it's not, I don't claim it. I'm just a tool.
Right. You're just a messenger, right?
Yeah, I can own it, and claiming it is a little different, like giving him the glory for it. So, all right, my
But I
friend.
think your
Yeah.
coaching is so much different. Let's step right into
Okay,
why
good.
I
Let's hear it.
chose you and why this needed to happen for me. Excuse
Yeah.
me. So I had done coaching in the past and have had lots of different coaches, right? And they were perfect for the time being. But I suddenly realized that your coaching was totally different. So you can do mindset work, surface value work, right? And that's not, mindset work isn't all surface value, but there's a lot of surface value when it comes to self-improvement. And I was doing all of those things. But if I was never going to dig deep, I realized I was wasting my money on all the surface value and I was just dealing and not healing. So a friend approached me that had been through your coaching program and said, Erin, you have to do this. And I was like, okay. And I had listened to you speak and you were absolutely incredible. But again, my mind wasn't there. So you have to be ready and willing to heal. It is not someone telling you that you have to heal. I think that is a part that you have to come to on your own. And I think, do you agree with that with your clients, that the ones that have come to it on their own get way more value out of it than the ones that are being forced type of thing? Like someone told them they needed it, that type of thing.
Absolutely, because then you're more in a place of owning it and wanting the change, because it's not surface level like you're talking about. This work that we're doing in the 180 is so much more deeper, and healing takes more time and focus. And it's not, I don't ever claim this is going to be easy, no, this is hard work.
It is not easy, but I can actually giggle about how simple
Yes.
this is, right? And it's the things that we just keep covering up and keep masking and keep trying to shove down deeper. And I remember asking you, like, am I just going to be numb? And maybe some of you listeners are feeling the same way. Like, what is she going to do for me that's so different than any other kind of coaching? And if she's going to heal this, am I just going to be numb to everything else? Am I just going to be like, on this cloud of euphoria that nothing gets to me, right? Everything's just, rainbows and unicorns and everything's amazing. No, that's not it at all, y'all.
Mhm.
Like, not it at all. And I was like a skeptic. I was a total skeptic. Like, okay, what is she really going to do for me? And you have ultimately changed everything because it made you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, there was nothing on surface value that you touched besides maybe our first conversation.
Yeah.
And y'all, she digs right in and gets deep right away. And that's what the change is. And that's what you need because so many people don't ever do that.
No.
And my life has changed so dramatically in such amazing ways, spiritually, mentally, health, physically, everything about me. My businesses have flourished since I've done this work. My relationships with friends and family has flourished. There's things that I set standards for. I used to say boundaries, and I don't have boundaries. I have standards now. Thank you very much,
Right.
Alejandra.
You are so welcome.
Yes, because we have to have standards for our life of how you are going to treat people and how you are going to let people treat you.
Yeah.
And I just think that's huge in life, of having those standards. And when you start doing that healing work, you'll understand what I mean by that. But it's digging so deep into our past. And if you want me to share on that, like
I do actually. I think it would be helpful for people to hear because I think there's always like this element of like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going through right now. And to hear it from someone who has been there and has gotten to the other side would be really valuable. Yeah.
all right.
So if you're open to
I'm a
sharing.
very visual person. So when I'm explaining to someone, I always like to give them a visual of, okay, this is what you are going to picture. Okay. And I said, we all have a past, whether we're dealing with it now or we've dealt with it in the past. We've always had this past, or you're going to deal with it in the future, right? Our past is always a part of us. It's made us or broken us, right?
Yep.
And it can also hold you back. I said, your past is like having a ball and chain with you all the time, right? Super heavy if it's a ball and chain. You can pick it up sometimes and you can run with it, but you're eventually going to get tired and you're going to have to set it down. Okay. And then there's times you're going to make it feel like it's heavier and heavier and you're just dragging it along to everything that you do. And this will come to a point in your life, like you're doing it every day. You're dragging this weight and it has nothing to do with your present life. It has everything to do with your past life. And doing the healing work is turning that ball and chain into a ping pong ball on a fishing line, y'all. Like you can still see it, right? Like it's still part of you. It's still attached to you. That is your past. But you can run forever with the weight of a ping pong ball and a fishing line with you. You can pick it up, you can swing it around, you can just have this peace. And that's the biggest word that I think I used with you the most was finding this peace in my life that my past does not own me anymore.
Right.
And I see the people around me that I would have put, I don't even know what the right word to use, like that weighed me down, right? That to me weighed me down, that I love and adore them even more because it made me the strong woman that I am today. But I had to accept and understand myself before I could understand where they were coming from.
Yep.
When you start understanding yourself and why you react and act the way you do and why your ego is what it is you can see that in the other people and understand why they acted and reacted, the way that they did.
Yep, exactly. It's huge. It's life altering, literally, right?
Literally.
Um, I love that analogy of the ping pong ball because that is it's like this lightweight little thing and you can play, versus the ball and chain that's heavy and like, oh, come on. Um,
Yeah.
and that's exhausting. And it's very hard to do the level of growth and just life at the level that you do because y'all, Erin is an entrepreneur and she is like a driven go-getter, high-powered woman who is fully stepping more and more into that every single day. And I just love getting to be a part of that. So it's very challenging to step up onto the stage, into the broadcast room, on that video, like whatever it is, in a book, in a post, even without or with having that heavy ball and chain of your past.
It sure is. I mean, it is, you literally, that's why I just use that analogy. I drug that thing around with me for years.
Yeah.
Really and truly my whole adult life. Now, not all bad has come because of that, right? It's like I said, it's made me who I am, but it also left this space for resentment and anger that didn't need to be there.
Well, let's talk about that because I wanted to like, what was the thing that had you go from, oh, okay, yeah, Alejandra's a great speaker because you saw me speak, and we're like, I don't need that. Like, that's not what I need. And you came back later after a girlfriend was like, oh my gosh, you need Alejandra. So, what was that determining factor? And what was that like that big thing that had you go, okay, I'm done with the 360 cycles, I'm done with the ball and chain?
It was finally owning that my past was holding me back. I didn't come from an abusive family. I don't have this awful story, this awful
Mhm.
upbringing.
Yeah.
I don't have that. So I felt like that wasn't part of my story. I didn't need to have that. Okay. Y'all need Alejandra. Like every person, human being needs to deal with their past because it has shaped us, good and bad.
Yeah.
But most people, it's not all good,
Yeah.
right? And there can be one moment, one triggering moment when you were 6 years old that shaped you and set up this like part of you who sees you as not enough or not, or too much. Some people think that they've been told that they're too much, they're too loud, they're too this, they're too that, too driven, or they're a failure. All of this. I mean, someone told you something one time that may have stuck. If that's holding you back, then you need this work.
Yeah.
And that's where my moment was listening to you and not honestly, like you said, I did not relate. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm good. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And watching my friend go through your group coaching and seeing the difference in her.
Mhm.
Now, she was one that was really hurting from something that had happened to her in the past, and I was with her through all of it. So to see her changed, I was like, "Oh my gosh." And she approached me very gently,
Mhm.
is really the best way I can say that. It's not with force, but it's like, "I need you to have a conversation with Alejandra." And I was like, "Okay." You know? And from that one conversation, I think I agreed right then.
You did.
Right then. Like, I knew I was ready, but I'd already done some of the work when it comes to I knew I was stuck again. I had
Yeah.
just invested in a major mastermind program, spent a lot of money, and I came out from it stuck still. Like, I knew what I needed to do, but I was, like, paralyzed in the
Yeah.
moment. It's not about always being paralyzed, it's about think about what sets you back. What gives you that self-doubt? And that was for me, I'm like, "Okay, this is what keeps holding me back. These triggers
Yep.
keep coming up and I keep getting set back." And I'm like, "What is the point?" So I could invest in all these other coaches, all of these other things. I could invest in another business plan. I could open another business. I could do all these things. I have found success in businesses, okay? But do I wanna do it with peace in my heart and feeling like I'm living in God's purpose?
Right.
So
To
I feel like now I'm not running and hiding, like trying to find that next level to prove myself that I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. Is now I know I'm enough and everything is coming to fruition of all of my past of
yes. My gosh, I love it.
yeah. I mean, it is just literally like I just had someone reach out to me asking me about your coaching. And I was like, it is hard. I had to voice message her. I can't, this is something that is hard to put in text because you have to hear it in our voices,
Yeah.
hear the passion and the of what can change for you. You have ultimately changed my entire life by spending a small amount of time with you, really and truly. In the long run of a life, I
Yeah.
spent a very small time with you. but now we're friends and now you're stuck with me and I love you.
I know.
But
And I love
right?
you too.
Right? Like, okay, y'all, sometimes you can't get rid of your coached clients. They just hang around, right? But you know, and I'm not saying that that happens with everyone that you have a connection, but it's just in life, like just taking my entire life to the next level blows my mind, and my passion to help others do the same thing.
Mm,
We were
exactly.
all meant for more.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm kind of hearing like the three things. One is that you were stuck, right? And that is truly what I hear the most when people also ask me like, "Well, who do you work with and what do you do?" It is like people like yourself, high-powered women up to many great things in life, have a purpose, are wanting to fulfill that purpose, have had a level of success in their life, but they're stuck. They've
Yep.
done the coaching, on that surface level like you were talking about, but they're stuck and don't know how to get beyond, right? That's the first thing I'm hearing. The second thing that I was hearing too is this like not enough part. And that was a big thing causing you to like be stuck. And
Yeah.
again, I see it all the time that we like want to when you're driven the way that a lot of high powered women are, that not enough can either drive you to overperform and be exhausted and
Burnout.
burnout, exactly, or it can cause you to completely like retract and procrastinate and like go into full on perfectionist mode and then nothing happens. You're like constantly in that waiting for like, oh, when this is done or when that, and it just like pulls you into that. So one of those two things happen in that not enough place. And then the third thing, and you didn't specifically say this, but I'm hoping this is cool that I can share this.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Which is the emotional state that you were in, which is that face.
What?
What?
Okay, just prepare yourself to, you're gonna cry your eyes out. Man or woman, you're going to, it's all gonna come, and it can be when you least expect it. And
Yeah.
you're gonna ugly cry. You're gonna ugly cry.
You're
It's the release.
But
It's
it
the
is
release.
the release. Oh, it's so good, that expression of emotion. But you were, like, really angry.
I
That
was
was, like,
really angry.
that emotional state of just, like, and, like, that's, like, not even in your like, that's not even in your presence. So, yeah, when she was saying, like, peace, and that was that word, it's because there was so much anger, and I think that was when we got on the phone and, the stuckness and the not enough was kinda coming up, but I think it was that, like, "I'm just so done with being angry,"
Mhm.
was the deciding
I
factor.
was done. I'm gonna be blunt. Hopefully I can say this. I was
Yeah,
done being pissed. I was pissed all the time. I was
okay.
pissed at myself. I was pissed at my kids. I was pissed at my family. Like just the things, you know what I mean? I was just, and even when I wasn't pissed, I was actually still pissed underneath. So you're just like, there was just constant. So it was like I was literally a ticking time bomb
Yeah,
when it comes to frustration with anything that didn't work out the way it was supposed to be. I did. I had an emotional blow up,
yep,
and that would set me back. So here's the thing I want to share real quick to go back to step two, kind of the two of what
yeah,
you shared. But this also goes into the emotional state. So because I shared with you, I was afraid I was going to be numb. Like that was the thing.
yes,
Like, oh my,
yes.
am I never going to feel these things? That is not at all what happened. So
Mm-mm.
right at the tail end of our coaching, I was triggered. So here's the thing, y'all. These are what happens. Like you're going to know these terms when you work with Alejandra. You were triggered, something happened, and I was really hurt. And all of this baggage, my old thought process came up.
Mhm.
Okay. And I was sat in it for a few hours that day, actually, quite a bit that day. It hit me hard, right?
Mhm.
And I was angry. My
Mhm.
husband was like, "What is wrong?" And I'm like, I'm just tired." And
Yeah,
I couldn't even talk about it because I was ashamed too that I was feeling that way.
yep.
Okay. Two, I was angry. And 3, I didn't know how to talk about it yet because it was just fresh. So I was just triggered. By day 2, I'm like, holy crap. I was aware of everything that just happened, all of those processes,
Yep.
why I was triggered, what was said, what I made out of it, what it really actually was, and why am I mad? Like, hurt and mad should not be the same thing, but that's what comes out in me. When I'm hurt, I'm mad.
Yeah.
It's no longer like that.
Mm-mm.
By day 3, it was completely over.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ruin the relationship. I didn't stay mad at anyone else. I didn't literally self-implode or self-explode, right?
Yeah.
On anyone. So here's the thing. It's not like those things will never come up again. Like, you're not numb. You will be triggered, but you will also handle it in like a fast forward motion.
Yep.
And then you will be back on track.
Yep.
So maybe that ball and chain will hop back in my life and I'll drag it for a few hours or 24 hours or 48 hours. But y'all, then it turns back into that ping pong ball on a fishing line.
Yep.
And that was my moment of, holy crap, this is what it feels like to be healed, to not
Yes.
be angry. Like, okay, I totally understand that old version of me, that little girl that was hurt, that's who was reacting. So you either react as the old version of you or this little girl of you that was hurt back then as a grown ass woman, or you show up as the grown ass woman and you're like, oh, okay, and sit with that little girl. This is what I mean by saying I had to be angry, but then I had to be sad with her.
Yes.
Right? I had to be sad with the little Erin that was hurt because something happened. And then I was like, okay, let's go play now.
Yeah.
Like, grabbed her by the hand and I was like, let's go play now. But that's really, that little girl version of us is always with us. Little girl or little boy, whoever's listening, boy or man or woman, you know, our past is always with us and we have to acknowledge them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's
that's,
huge
I just
power
had
in
to share that. Like,
Yeah.
that you're not numbed. You are still human. You are still going to have trigger moments. You are going to handle them 1,000% different.
Yes.
A 180-degree difference than
Um,
the 360.
Yep, the 180 complete. Oh, yes, exactly. I think too, there's something in that, like, it's natural. The changes, like what happened in those 3 days, how we talked about it's not easy, but it's simple. And the healing has become natural now. And
Mhm.
it was natural for you to like, oh, okay, I know exactly what happened and how I created it and why it got created and what I'm going to respond. And there's no need, because that anger wasn't present, to respond in that childlike kind of way. So it becomes very natural to respond in these new ways as the healing has happened. And it's true. Like, I put in the description the last self-help tool you'll ever need. Because the 180 method truly is the last self-help tool, it doesn't mean you won't ever need healing again. Because that's not, we're in the fallen world, we're human, you're still going to create things in your life. The difference is what Erin's talking about, quicker, faster, like lightning speed within 3 days when something massively happened that could have taken you months or even years to get over and had
Mhm.
caused or created even more stuff from that one trigger that trickled into other things like, exploding at your kids or getting in an argument with your husband or showing up at work and, you know, all kinds of stuff happens in your business. And it's just,
Yeah. I mean, and it's just everyone is reactive to this too. Like, our good friend Tiffany Peterson always shares, everything is energy and energy is everything.
yes.
And it's totally different, the energy that I feel that I put off. I mean, I've had a lot of women that I've met over the last just even 6 months. Well,
Yeah.
5 months since we really finished, right?
Yeah.
That have approached me about my energy. My
Mhm.
energy has totally shifted because I'm not angry.
Mhm.
Like,
Mm.
it's so crazy. And when you're not angry and when you're not feeling insecure about it, my anger poured into insecurity, poured into not having the confidence or trying to feel like I needed to be someone else. I needed to be whoever I was around, I feel like I needed to be who they needed me to be.
Yeah.
And I no longer do that. I
Mhm.
show up fully, unapologetically authentic myself.
That's
And
right.
that is so powerful to me. And it's drawing the people that should be around me to me,
Yeah.
and realizing that we are not meant for everyone and everyone's not meant for us. And that is okay.
It's okay.
It
Yes.
is totally okay.
Yes.
And just the power in that alone is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And just that this is a lifestyle.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to touch base on. So you're talking about, this is the last one you'll ever need, self-help. The thing is, if you make this a lifestyle and continue healing that and continue looking for the light and continue to share this with other people so other people can heal and live this life too. This is like a diet, right? It's not a diet. This is a lifestyle.
Yep.
Like everything that I do in my life, I live a very healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
I looked healthy from the outside. I take all the supplements, and now I'm spiritually healthy. My soul is healthy. My everything is coming together. This just adds into another whole healthy lifestyle. And when you are living that lifestyle, everything is possible.
Absolutely. Oh,
I mean,
exactly.
the roof has blown off
Yeah.
whatever you think it is of your level when you really get to the core of the healing. And that's what you have done. That's what your work does, is go straight to the core. It's like me talking about gut health, right? When you focus on the gut, when you focus on your soul, when you focus on the core reason of why you're having these issues and ailments, everything starts healing and it comes all the way to the outside.
Exactly. Um, you're not in the symptom. We're in the cause.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Is there anything else, like, last, thing that you just absolutely want to make sure people know or would want to share from your journey? Like, if someone's in this place of, do I need life coaching? Who do I reach out to? Like, any advice that you would want to give them?
The biggest thing I can always put out there is, no matter what you're going through or what you've been through, it is enough to have this kind of work. You
Yes.
don't have to have this tragic life. There's a lot of people that have lots of tragedy and lots of hurt and lots of pain. I think those ones are more obvious, okay? But do not sell yourself short because you think you can handle the situation that you're in right now, and why you have been stuck in the situation that you're in, whether it's financially, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whatever it is. Don't sell yourself short that you need work on healing your past, and stop just dealing with life and realize that, oh my gosh, life is so incredibly amazing and you see totally different. I used this term that sounds funny and it may make me sound a little ridiculous, but I'm like, it's like you can hear colors, right? It's
Yes.
everything is so different now when you're healed. You see people differently, you hear people differently. Okay,
Mm,
you can understand why some people may hurt you and you don't take it personal,
yeah.
sorry, because hurt people
Yeah.
and they don't understand that. So now I don't lash out and I'm not angry if I get hurt by someone. I understand that hurt people will hurt you.
Yeah.
So take off those judgment glasses of whatever you're wearing or thinking, oh, I don't need that, and go for it, because Alejandra will change your life and your legacy, your life that you are leaving to your children, your spouses, everything, all of your relationships. You will change their lives because you took the time to take care of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love you dearly.
I love you too, friend.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we will be doing a lot more of these. So if any questions that you have, please put them in the comments. And if you're like, you know what, this was really good, there's person that I know needs to hear this, please share this. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you so much.